Innocent bystanders, guilty bystanders, lucky if $1 in a dream is what they hand us. See, that ain't even enough to make it off the corner. It's gonna take a lot to come up off the block, boy, if you want it. That's pain and sacrifice, but I'm just trying to live my life, although I'm tired of slaving in these fields every day and night. You see, the grind ain't free. Shine ain't free, and sacrificing my time at the 9 to 5 ain't free. I gotta keep the peace to keep the peace, right? Because keeping his face on our pieces don't really mean we know Jesus. Check the thesis, place the pieces. Drug dealers, hustlers, teachers, preachers, they all just trying to reach us. That's all something in common. Knowing not much is common, find myself thinking twice about the category that I'm in. Long nights in the studio rhyming, just to try to figure out the position that I'm in. But life is what you make. Real gonna always recognize the real, so please don't fake it. Some people gonna love your success, some gonna hate it, but opportunity will pass you by if you don't take it. So don't ever mistake it, because life is body counts on the rise. Watch as the number towers. Restraints placed on our brains by these soul devours. But if you just break those mental chains, you decrease their power. 60 minutes, men marching, we in these streets for hours. I know the hand you dealt shall be played according to what you did, but life is based on what you gave and not only what you get. The fancy clothes, the brand new J's, and jewelry won't do shit if you don't know from where you came and who you gonna leave with. It's 34 years on this earth. Feels like I just arrived. 34 years to know my worth. What I do, I feel deprived. It's like Noah kicked me off the ark. I'm one of a kind and I shouldn't be alive, but in the abyss of deep, deep dark, see, somehow I still survive. So with success on my mind, my thoughts are stacked up through the roof. Thinking if these walls could talk, I wonder would they tell the truth. They'll probably say something like, life is what you make it. Real gonna always recognize the real, so please don't fake it. Some people gonna love your success, some gonna hate it, but opportunity will pass you by if you don't take it. So don't ever mistake it, because life is the pastor that used to be a thug that pray like a preacher. Round world, spin round, tell me who your teacher, who your maker, and who's gonna reach you. Don't mess around and let the arms of Lucifer greet you. Choose the water over wine, the fish over the swine. Meditate to elevate your heart, soul, and your mind. You got 20/20 vision, but can't see that you still blind. Just look within yourself. You'd be surprised what you can find. I used to cry because of the pain. Now I smile because of the same, because this brother finally made it. It wasn't that I sat back and waited. It was all anticipated, yet all premeditated. I studied hard for this one moment. Still, I wonder how they're graded. Fuck those who said this flow would be debated. I just take your comments, roll it up, light it, and get faded. See, the hate makes me higher. The high makes me flyer, blowing smoke up out these lungs because I'm steady spitting. Life is what you make it. Real gonna always recognize the real, so please don't fake it. Some people gonna love your success, some gonna hate it. An opportunity will pass you by if you don't take it. So don't ever mistake it, because life is
what you make it.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, builders? It's your girl, K Antoinette the Blogger, and you are now listening to the LBF Podcast. This is Creating Space with Ty of More Than Words, and we're going to get into his backstory and his platform. Go ahead and say something for the builders, Ty.
Life is what you make it. What's going on, yo?
Life is what you make it. What have you made of this life so far, Ty?
So far it's been a good one. I'm still here, still building. Let's build, still growing.
Oh, I love it. You better plug it.
Yeah, I'll be trying.
That's all we can do in this life.
Mm-hmm.
So, how do you create? Let's start there.
I believe, like most creatives, inspiration, things that's around me, what I see, hear, and do, I pump that into my vision or whatever I'm creating at the moment, whether that be art, words, poems, music. I just go off of inspiration, daily inspiration. That's it.
I like that.
Yeah.
So how would you describe yourself as a creative? Like, you just kind of like a jack of all trades, or you're interested in all forms of art and creation?
Yeah. Jack of all trades is perfect, actually. I don't want to really master anything. I truly believe if you master something, you should stop doing it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I always want to be able to learn something from what I'm doing. I want to be a student of the game forever. So I guess if I had to explain what I am, is what kind of creative, I think universal. I can tap into pretty much anything,
Right.
That kind of what the basis of More Than Words came by.
I've never heard anybody describe that like that. Like, if you're a master of something, you might as well just like hang it up, because you've mastered it.
Over.
Yeah.
That's it.
I love that. That is something that I wouldn't have come up with on my own. Now you got me thinking.
Always be
Um,
a student, man. Always be willing to like learn something new.
right. Yeah. And I think that that's the same with me. I do have a lot of, I might not be talented in all the arts, but I have an interest in a lot of them.
Hey,
So,
that's needed,
yeah.
especially on my end. I need people like you, the people that are interested in the arts. Oh man, I wouldn't have anything to do without y'all. You know what I'm
Aw.
saying?
Um, so how did you birth the concept of more than words? So, for anybody out there that hasn't heard of more than words, it is a very dope platform that highlights creation on all, I don't know, all areas. So you got
Mhm.
artists, whether they be rappers, whether they be singers, you have poets, spoken word, jazz players. Like we had a saxophone out there a couple of weeks ago. I mean, it's just like it's a platform. Like I think of like Love Jones. I just saw that, watched that movie again
Yo,
last night.
yo, okay, you doing something? Nah, that's my top. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely in the top three, and they rotate all the time. So yeah,
Oh, listen, it's one of my favorite movies. But when I watched it
facts.
again last night, I was just like, Todd think he doing so.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's
Thank
what
you.
we need. Yeah.
Yeah, I want
Um,
all them vibes.
and that you give them. And so I love that because you would have never thought something like that would be in this area. So how did
Right.
you come up with the concept of more than words? Like where did it start and where are you trying to take it now?
Exactly what you said just now. One would never think something like that is will be in this area. I mean, anybody that's from here knows that you don't see things like that. There's not many places for like creatives to go and show off their talent, showcase their talent. So honestly, it was just a bunch of friends, kickbacks, and you know what I'm saying, pulling up at house parties and hosting most of them myself. And people just having vibes and you know what I mean, chilling out. And we showcase our talents, you know what I'm saying? I start rapping. I used to freestyle a lot, you know what I'm saying, get my head bad, freestyle or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So it was all fun and games. And one day we were like, man, we need to do something with this. Everybody in this group is dope. And everybody in my circle, like we all did something. Like so what I thought one day is like, man, maybe we should look into like having our own show or doing something somewhere in Florence where we can actually have people come out and enjoy what we do. And
Right.
for one, there was no place for us to go enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I believe in I always be quoting shit and making up quotes and stuff, but if you have a blank canvas, it's the perfect opportunity to create art.
It's the
And
perfect
Florence was a
opportunity.
blank canvas, man.
Oh, yes. So
Yeah.
the series is called Creating Space, and when I thought of it, I've been hitting up different artists and different talent in the area, trying to highlight, the talent that's here. And then when I thought about, I was like, I need to get Ty up here, and then I was like, he creates space. Like you are the epitome of what I talk about, creating a platform to highlight whatever's there, right? So you've been doing that, and I love that you just said like Florence in a lot of ways is a blank canvas, but it's so much talent here. We just need to give ourselves the space to do it. On a
Promise.
previous creating space, I think with Tony Esther might have been, I was discussing with her how arts have been here in Florence, but like you said, it wasn't specifically for us.
Right,
It
right.
looked a little different. It wasn't a place where we can go and just be our true selves. And I love that you have decided to give a platform for that to happen.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever considered opening your own like spot specific for this platform?
Oh, definitely. There's been some a couple of opportunities to do so. Uh, for the most part, I've focused on going into clubs and spaces and providing the energy for what's already there and just adding my own little taste to it.
Right.
Uh, so we're bringing the more than words show and experience to whatever environment that we're in at the moment. So far as our own space, yeah, yeah, that's coming actually soon. I got a
Gotcha.
couple other things to iron out, but if we do right and good God willing, time, it'll be there.
I like that. So but it is some kind of freedom, like you said, just to have it as a show that you can take with you, and you can go to different clubs, different buildings, different areas, and take that More Than Words platform as you go, and then build up that following as well.
It's preparing artists to be able to do what you do anywhere. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? Like if you think you need to sharpen up on your skills or just you think you don't and you want to find out,
Hmm.
come out. They'll tell you. You gotta forget my computer moving. My puppy is right here, man. He acting up.
You'll see my cat jump in and jump out the frame, so it is fine.
Move, boy.
We're pet parents.
That's all right. I'm all right with that.
um, but yeah, so that's one of the things I love too, because you can see the growth and you can see the community that happens. What I've noticed with a lot of artists or creatives is a lot of us are introverted in our nature, or a lot of us keep to ourselves. And so when you have you kind of built in a network for these creatives in this area to kind of get to know each other and to draw inspiration from, to draw support from. Did you know that you were doing that when you first started?
Oh yeah, that's the whole plan. That's the basis of the name. It's more than words. So it's really creating a community. It's called More Than Words Artist Community.
Mm,
Community is first. Community, we gotta have unity, and you gotta bring people together to unify. So like it was always about the people and bringing some artists. Even if you aren't artists like yourself, you're appreciative of the arts. Like you know what I'm saying. We need y'all as well. Putting those same people in the same room. You know what I'm saying. And
yeah.
every time something dope happened, I promise you. I mean, you witnessed it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what it's all about.
It's always an experience whenever I come out. I
Hmm.
might not can't make it out every week, but when I do come out, I'm just like, man, I remember the first time I went, and a friend invited me out, and they were like, I just think that you would thrive in this environment. I went and I was just like, how didn't I know that this was here? As a creative, I felt rejuvenated once I left. I felt inspired. I felt like I got what I needed from just sitting in the audience, and I didn't even, perform or anything.
That's what we
Um,
want.
it
That's
does
what we
that.
want.
It does that. Yes.
You're not
So,
not to toot my own horn, but you're not the first person I heard say that, and it just helps me keep doing what I'm doing. You know, to strive
right.
more and more, like and tighten up on things. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a perfectionist, but I yearn for perfection. You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? So I appreciate that. That's what I need to hear to keep me going.
Of course, you got to give
Oh
each
yeah,
other the flowers, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
What do you feel like you need to tighten on as far as More Than Words go?
Ooh, scheduling and time. For one, we black as hell, so we be late, man. We gotta get people in the door and get this thing on rolling, man. Like, and I ain't gonna just rag on myself. Most open mics and places that I've been to, they always have that 30 minutes to an hour dead space before the show starts. But
Mm-hmm.
I really think that we can be professional, and I want to run it eventually just like a show because if I do that, that's where the moolah comes in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we gotta treat it like a business if that's what we want to be about, our business.
Right.
So that's one screw that's loose. Come on, bro, don't cry. So yeah, that's one screw that's loose that we definitely got to tighten up on time.
Um, I love that honesty because even with something like, the LBF and the podcast and everything else, it's just like sometimes, we can get in our own way. We want to be, perfect when it comes to the scheduling, when it comes to the small details. Stuff happens, but then you have to be real honest with yourself and be like, okay, I need to tighten up.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we all people. We got a life, so like, you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Shit happen, but we can tighten it up though. Like
let's
I said, I
tighten it
know
up,
me. I
right?
know me. I procrastinate a bit, so that's one thing I need to work on.
You and me both. I will wait till the last minute to get something done. Not because
Hey,
it's
but we
just
clutch though.
we listen, it's
I'm
perfect
saying
when
it
it
still
comes
happen.
out.
It still happen though. Like yeah,
Down to the wire. You got
that
a
little back
shot
against the
clock.
wall.
That's it. But what artists have you seen flourish as a part of More Than Words platform?
Oh man, I haven't seen one yet that hasn't. Look at this boy. Look at him. Oh my god. But anyway, I haven't seen one yet that hasn't flourished. Um, I can speak of those personally that that affected me in a positive way and kind of dope way. All right, so like AZ, man, that's my brother. That's my guy right there. Like from day one, A1, day one. Like when I opened the building and we first started this thing, my homegirl Cupcake from Dillon, Sohama Braxis. She's transitioned to that name now. She
Okay.
introduced the Dillon crew to me. A little town
And
called Newtown.
it's a big
But
crew.
it's a big crew. A little small place called Newtown with such a big crew. And I swear
Mhm.
something in the water there because everybody out there dope.
And
Blessed
I didn't
God,
realize
Easy
that.
Ola,
Right.
AZ, Cole Page, but like Cordell, like Naya Dream, like I can name, but bruh, there's so many dope people out there, joint. I'm so glad Sohama introduced me to them. AZ probably top favorite. We got Gandhi. That's my homie from back in the day. He got a fire project. He's
Yes.
been flourishing, and honestly, he been dope. He just showcased his talents here. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But so far as growth and development, I've seen AZ grow crazy, like crazy. And Guala, I didn't know most of his music before he came out, so I can't say I saw him grow. He
Hmm.
might say that he did, but I can't say that I experienced that. But from
Right.
what I see, man, he well seasoned. And he get up
Mhm.
there and do his thing every time as well. I can name everybody literally like E,
Right.
Naya, like everybody in the show, J Cash, like everybody. And if I'm forgetting somebody, notice I just said everybody.
Don't call you out on it, right?
Yeah, just because I ain't say your name, you part of everybody too, bro. Like,
Right. But that's what I love. It's like even if and that's what I realized. I'm just like if I'm talking to an artist and I know that they're about to perform, I'm just like I don't care if it's two people out there. I don't care if it's 20 plus people. You go out there. This is a platform for you to hone your skills. You might
yeah,
already be good, but think of it as your own personal concert in a way. And you do that, like you're getting people like this is like professional development you're doing for a lot of these
I
artists.
promise you. Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
so
I like
dope.
that professional development.
Yeah.
I might have to coin that, you know what I'm
You
saying?
know what? Take it. You even gotta,
Yeah. I'm gonna put that in my skill set on LinkedIn.
you better.
Professional development.
That's what you're doing. That's really what you're doing because, behind the scenes, or even since I've, been going more often now, I see how not only the artists are changing and they're actually, putting more into their performances, but I also see how the platform itself is growing with those artists too. So, like, you have the ability to evolve as your platform is reaching out to more artists and as they evolve themselves.
This guy,
Bruno.
he definitely want to be part of the podcast. Bruno, you're gonna have to get down, bro. Like for real. You're messing me up. Thank you. All right.
It's all good. I understand.
He want to speak,
No, I
obviously.
understand.
But yeah, you're right, man. Like just watching artists, like I keep going back to my homie AZ, man. Like
Mhm.
I remember when he told me he was on stage shaking the first time he performed. Now he
Right.
shake the room. Like, it's crazy. So and every time, like the fact that he told me right before his shows, he looked in the mirror and he performed to the point where he's practicing and sweating.
Mhm.
That's passion. That's love. That's you loving what you do right there. And if
Right.
you ain't doing that as an artist, if you don't practice every day, you're not gonna gain repetition and you're not gonna get better.
Right.
You have to practice. That's the only way to perfect it.
But you're teaching them that. You know what I'm saying? Your
Oh yeah, they don't
platform,
know that. All of them don't know that, but I am.
you are. You're teaching them that your platform is like you can get up there and not come prepared. I don't know if you're gonna really get as much out of it as you're supposed to,
You'll figure
but
it out after a while.
you'll figure it out because you'll figure out, okay, now I need to I need to figure out what songs I want to do. Okay, now what outfit I might put on that's gonna go.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Now what kind of energy am I gonna give to this song? Okay. And you start really understanding that, knowing your audience, knowing your own songs and how you need to present them to that audience. And it
Facts,
just it develops you, to make you even more better. So
facts.
where do you see More Than Words going in the near future? And what is your hope for this platform?
Okay, so right now we do open mics, and that's what we specialize in for the most part. Um, the next step for us are like concerts and truly showcasing single artists and their talents and building an actual show around it, headliners, things of that
Mhm.
nature. You know what I'm saying? Bringing in the concert vibes, whether it be like little intimate sets or grand in a park somewhere or anywhere. Like that's got to be the next step.
Yeah.
Right now we're doing what we're doing, and this is easy. You know, you come in and you sometimes you don't know what's going to happen. Most times I don't know what's going to happen because it's an open mic. Anybody can get up there and do their thing. I don't know if you're going to be good or not. Luckily, we've had a lot of great people.
Right.
But so far as the show vibes, that way we can build and construct exactly what we want to happen, take the best of the best, you know what I'm saying, and showcase their talents. And that's the next step. But that's also going to come with having our own building. So it's been rolling out slowly, but it's going to happen.
I feel you. How have you been? And I know this is something I put down further, but I want to ask it now. How have you been juggling this with your regular career?
Oh man, I'm blessed. I'm blessed to have a job to where I get a lot of downtime. And
Okay.
I have a lot of time where I can write, think, and create. You
Right.
know, so like with that being said, it's kind of easy for me to juggle things. I get to prep things while I'm working.
Hmm.
I'm not the best at multitasking, regardless if you think so or not. But my girl will tell you otherwise. You know I ain't the best. You know what I'm saying? Like we get things done. I
Right.
procrastinate, but I multitask, and we eventually get it done.
Got you.
Juggling isn't a problem.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Somebody's knocking
You
at my
good?
door there. I'm sorry. Let me pause. So, how have you seen your platform transform throughout the years?
Oh man, in a major way. Like we started this thing off, and it's still free form, but you're going to gain muscle memory after a while. And there's certain things that we expect to see and expect to do during the show that at first we didn't know was coming. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of easier to create an energy these days. If I can say this, transform. That's one major key right there. It's easier these days. Not so much as anything's changed. It's just gotten better.
Okay. Why do you think it's gotten better? Do you just think that probably because you didn't have a blueprint, you ran into a lot of issues you didn't expect to run into?
Well, yeah, there was always a blueprint there. It's just that when you have a space such as open mics, it's exactly that. You do not know what is coming up there and why.
Right.
So you have to control that energy. When the energy is low after a performer, you got to
Mhm.
know when and where to place people. Or great hosts like Daniel. Daniel's a great host.
Yeah.
So like you got to have people like that know when and where to, what I'm saying, insert those. I mean,
Right.
dramatic points that need to happen during the show. If not, you'll have a long dry spot.
Got you. So
That
how
that's
did
just
you
stuff that keeps me worked out.
oh, got you. You said something that made me think of another question. How did you decide and get connected with Daniel
Oh
for
man.
hosting your platform?
Okay, so I've had a lot of hosts. I do believe in the rotation of hosts, keeping the energy fresh. But if
Mhm.
somebody's working and they putting the work in and they doing their thing, let it roll, man. So like Daniel, he came out to the open mic as an artist. I'm not sure if he was even going to perform, but he came up there and did Security by
Mm.
Mike Grizzly. I love that song. So automatically I'm like, yo, bro, like you did that. Like, yeah, I
Right.
see you, bro. I'm singing in the background and all, woo, 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 but all of that, you know what I'm saying? So when he came back off stage, I hollered at him for a second and then I watched him. So people that I like or that get my attention, I watch
Mhm.
after a while. And I saw him through social media. He did some theater, uh,
Mhm.
he did some things like that. And I just looked, I viewed how he moves, you know what I'm saying? And
Right.
he's smart. He knows what he's doing, you know what I'm saying? So I said, maybe we can incorporate that as a host. Let's see how good he does.
Mhm.
Blew it out of the park. Knocked it out of the park.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, did his thing, and he's been rocking ever since.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
So you are actually, meeting your team along the way with this
Every day,
platform.
every time, like it's always something new. That's why I say you can't be a master of it. It's always somebody that's gonna teach you something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So let's discuss your creative influences when it came to like building and continuing to build this platform.
Um, creative what now?
Your influences.
Influences. Oh
Mhm.
man. I guess everything around me. Like you said, like I said at the beginning, I'm inspired by what I see. Whether that be my mom, you know what I'm saying, the relationship that I'm in at the moment, all of those things kind of influence what I incorporate during that week. I might want to
Right.
do a Love Jones type set because I haven't felt some love in a while. I haven't showed some. So I
Mm-hmm.
need that energy now. I might want to do some ratchet shit. You know what I'm saying? Because, you feel like turning up this weekend or something. It's been a bad work week. I don't
Mm-hmm.
like my boss right now. What's up? AZ. You know what I'm saying? Get him. It's all about, inspiration and what I see. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that
I
kind of,
love that.
yeah.
That's exactly how I do my episodes. And some people
There
don't
you go.
understand that because I'm like, I move off emotion, but that's the strongest thing you can kind of move off of.
Mhm.
So,
If
when
controlled.
right, in your life experience. So I'm just like, when I think about how I come up with topics or how I decide that, okay, maybe it's time to talk to this person and see what's going on behind the scenes with them, it's usually because, I'm going off of my own, personal experience, how I feel in that moment or that week. And it turns out to be pretty beautiful because it's honest.
Right, right. And that's parallel to what I'm saying. I promise you.
Yeah. Um, when did you realize there was a need for this talent, for this kind of platform in this area?
Noticing there was a blank canvas, and when we were in those house parties, and I had little kickbacks, and we wanted to step out, or my house got too packed, my apartment got too packed, and the neighbors was complaining. I'm like, yo, we need someplace to go with this thing.
Right.
We having a great time. We don't want the energy to die.
Right.
So it was a need for it. Like it was a blank canvas out there. Like there's no place for us to go. And luckily we've been blessed with like multiple opportunities since then. I
Mhm.
think I might have something to do with that. I ain't gonna toot my own horn, but
You
that's what I
got a
think.
little something to do with
I've been
it.
everywhere, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So you were always the go-to person to like just have that creative energy. That's wonderful.
Yeah, people gravitate towards me, man, when it comes to stuff like that. And I figured there's a market for that,
Mhm.
that it's not to be sold, but experience, so
What's
I
your
could create
sign,
a great
Ty?
time. I'm a Capricorn.
I knew it. I was
Alpha
like either
male.
he a Aquarius or either he a Capricorn.
I'm a
But it's giving
Capricorn.
me one of those. It's giving me
Yeah,
January energy.
yeah. 116. Oh yeah.
128. What you talking about?
Okay. Mm,
Yeah, you gotta watch out.
mm. We can clash if you want, but I got you.
you
It's better
know,
to get along.
I get along with
Gotta
almost
understand.
anybody.
There you go.
I'm balanced out.
And me too. I'm the same way.
What creative avenues have you taken in like perfecting as a personal creative and the More Than Words platform?
Oh, experience. Actually going to these shows and performing myself.
Hmm.
For a while, I really stopped and I didn't really want to, but that's the only way you're gonna grow and develop. The same with thing I'm preaching to the artists, I have to preach to myself.
Yeah.
And actually working through the shows, I stay moving, stay trying to tighten up on something. So it's just that experience, like overall, like.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I've been trying to work myself up to performing. Like, so I do poetry and
Let me find out, man. You done came to a couple shows and you ain't got it there yet. I'm gonna get Guala now. I'm telling him, bro.
he been on my ass.
I know,
Like,
bro.
he don't really act so much no more. But when we first, when I first was going, he was like, "You gonna get up? You gonna perform?" And just like,
Let me do you a favor. I'm
hmm.
not saying that I hope this happens, but let's just say it's a slow night and the show is building up very slowly and not too many people in the building. Perfect timing. The best part about some of these earlier artists that are seasoned now, AZ and all of them,
Hmm.
they came when it was nothing but artists in the building. And those were
Yeah.
some of the best sets we ever had, like some of the best shows that ever were made. Like when we had Brown Sugar Bree and just a Dylan crew and maybe two other people in there, like
Right.
7 people in the building. We had the greatest set, the greatest show, and I miss those sometimes because whenever that energy gets packed in the building, it's kind of hard to control it. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
got people talking over here, people vibing, and it's kind of hard to control the atmosphere in the room.
Mm.
But we check the temperature every time, and we can change it whenever
Oh
we feel
yeah.
like it. Yeah,
The first
get
time
your
I
tail up
went,
there, man.
I'm gonna try. The first time I went, it was a packed show, and it was one of the greatest experiences like I had ever seen. I was like, oh my God, you had poets, you had artists, you had, singers. It was just a lot going. It was a lot of people in there too, but y'all did a great job of like making it like a real, just it was a show, you know?
Oh man, I
It
appreciate that.
was perfect. It really was. And it was one of them warm nights too where it was just like the
Ooh,
atmosphere was just right.
okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm I'm gonna try to
And
work
look, like I
up.
said, just come early, and whether it's just us in there, spit
Yeah.
something. And we gonna show you that love, and you gonna get addicted to it. That feeling while you're up there, it's
Yeah.
addictive, like highly, and you'll want it again, regardless if you think you do bad or not. Because if you do bad, and you're like me, I'm gonna beat myself up out there, and I'm gonna go
Oh
up there and try
yes.
again. Like I ain't about to fail. I might fall, but I ain't
But I'm not
staying
gonna
down.
fail.
Like I ain't gonna
Hmm.
fail. Nah,
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm very much a perfectionist.
I learned a
I've
lesson.
learned how to do it in a healthy way, not a self,
Yeah,
deprecating way. But at the same time, it's just like it's crazy because when I tell people, I do the podcast and I write and I do all this visual stuff with LBF, but I'm actually shy as a person. I just
that's
know how to
fine.
tap into my extroverted side. So it's a challenge for me. It's been a challenge for me to be like, okay, you gonna get up one day. You go, you go spit something one day.
We gonna get you up there. You
Yeah.
done told me the wrong thing now. Well, actually, the right thing. Thank you.
Oh God. I should have killed this.
We're gonna
um.
make you so comfortable, and you gonna get right up there.
So how do you go about choosing your featured shows? That's a change that I've noticed you've done within probably the last year. So how did you come up with that concept, and then how do you go about choosing the artist? Relax, heal, and embrace a better you. Spa Danny offers quality yet affordable massages customized just for you. Let Danny create a space for you to hit the pause button. Who doesn't need that at the start of 2021? Why not start today? You can call or text at 843 687 2079. That's 843 687 2079. You can also message her on her business page at SpaDanny_ on Instagram, or follow her on Facebook at SpaDanny LLC. You can also book online at SpaDannyExperience.com. That's SpaDannyExperience.com. Treat yourself, be good to yourself, and let 2021 be a whole vibe.
All right. So every now and then, there's an artist that comes along that kind of lights up the stage, and he or she illuminates the room. Um, we kind of bottle up that energy for one show.
Mm.
It's happened before, but like you said, we have focused on it more so lately. I don't really choose; they choose themselves. I might approach one or two after a while, and I'll ask them how they feel about it or if they're interested. But they choose themselves. It's the work that they're putting in. It's got nothing to do with me and what I see. It's got everything to do with what the room is doing and how you
Right.
move. You know what I'm saying? So
So they
yeah,
got to show you they want it, and then you go from there.
man, they got to show me they got it, not just want it.
Oh, okay,
They
you better
already got
speak
it.
it.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I
Like you ain't
want
gonna
it.
get up
I
here.
want it. You know what I'm saying? I need to know you already got the bag. You know what I'm saying? Before I even put you up there.
Yeah,
I ain't
I can
about, you ain't
agree with
about to
that.
embarrass yourself or me, bro.
Yeah, because I mean, has it ever been time where you worry about that? Like, oh, this is my platform, and I have someone that might not be taking it as serious, or isn't putting in the work that they need to.
Um, we've been blessed. So no.
Okay.
And that does happen. I'm not gonna sit here in front like it doesn't. Every now and then there's some artists that I get people that say they're coming out all the time. Or I
I'm gonna come
support
out and support you, bro.
and look, I appreciate those words. I appreciate the support, but in all honesty, it ain't nothing until you there.
Yeah.
Like, or if you, I'm wrong. I'll correct myself. It is something. It depends on how you support. Like you can say you do it, but you don't have to physically be there to support. You can tell somebody about it. Like my
Mm-hmm.
girl, she just not doing a swimsuit line. So let me drop that right quick. Yeah, she's selling swimsuits. So go support my girl.
What's the name of
That's an
it?
example. There's an example right there.
Oh, okay. Listen, I'm like,
You know
wait,
what I'm
was
saying?
she?
Yeah, let me get my yeah, look, that's how we do it. Like
Oh, shit.
and let me get my duckies in a row so I don't tell y'all the wrong thing because then she gonna beat me up for real. Like, you know what I mean? Like she doing her thing. She just not. She's done it before. She's released her swimsuits last year, so she doing it again. She got men trunks. She got everything. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, yeah,
What's the
yeah.
name of it?
I'm about to name drop it right now. I'm trying to
Gotcha.
find it. Like I told you, like I'm a procrastinator. I don't do well with all of that. So I
You
gotta.
know I'm about to, especially talking about this Miami. Oh,
Oh
okay.
yeah, yeah. This Miami trip, and that's a major reason why right there. Like, all right, so splashing sexy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, splash and say okay. Let me write that down.
Yeah,
I love me a
a
good
real
bathing
thing.
suit.
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna be in Miami Fly, yo. Book your trip. Audio fit. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So, do you think that with your feature shows that you might branch out to other types of artists? Like, will you do like one with poets? Will you do one, with other types of creatives?
Oh yeah, we've definitely done that. We featured visual artists before. Like we've had a painter
Really?
come in and they showcase their painting, and while we're putting on our normal show, they
Mm-hmm.
display it. They speak about their art. They they show their art and have people
Right.
follow them. And they'll do usually a piece during the show. Our shows take about 2 hours, a little bit longer sometimes, so
Mm.
that gives them enough time to finish a canvas or two. You know,
I
like
love that you don't
poet.
put. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I love that you don't put limits on it. You
Nah, it's
know?
more than words, man. Like
Yeah.
it's got to be exactly what it says it's about. Like it's more than words. Visual arts, dancers. We've had that before. It's the scene that we're in now. Absalom Hookah Lounge is great, but I just don't think it can showcase that type of talent right now. That's more so for later on down the road at Absalom. They have a VIP section, and we're going to utilize that for those talents.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we've kind of focused on the music side of things instead of poetry. Maybe we'll have one of those Love Jones type nights in there,
Yeah.
some wine, endless, bottomless mimosas. You know
I
what I'm
get my
saying?
Merlot every time.
Hello, hello, come on, drunk. But anyway, like you know what I'm saying, we'll do that, but it's got to be right. We've got to
Yeah.
create the energy, and I think we're there. We've got enough people out and supporting, so it's right
Yeah.
around the corner, and the weather about to get good.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
can't wait.
Sundress season around the corner.
Around the corner.
Yeah, t-shirts and white ones.
So for you, you said that, I think when I think of more than words, I think of more than just the open mic. How would you describe it? How would you say it's unique?
Um, exactly what you said. Artist development, the community. We focusing in on those things. Uh, the showcase and the vibes are the last part that happens. Putting in the work leading up to that is what it's all about. That's where we build together. That's where you create that unity. That's where you create relationships, business relationships.
Mhm.
So much has came from just us being in that same room together. So many artists has collab and just done their thing. We've been introduced to so many different creatives. Like,
Yes.
you know what I mean? It's a dope thing, and that's the special thing I love about it the most.
Yes. Because
Yeah,
what I know about a lot of creatives is we have a tendency to just keep to ourselves.
yeah.
So when you have an environment that's
Protect your
encouraging
baby.
you, right? And it's like you don't want, I don't know. Like we will be vulnerable in our art or in our expression, but we don't want to do that with each
Yes,
other so
sir.
much.
I'm sensitive about my shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm an artist
But
and I'm sensitive.
right. But the fact that it's like a support channel and I'm starting to see it, expand a lot more. I'm seeing how, a lot of the artists are, like you said, collabing with each other, talking with each other, networking, supporting. And I think that's all a part of the journey of like just getting better. So
Most definitely.
even someone like me, I'm learning how to talk on a real basis. Like, I I'm good at the creative side, the networking side, it needs some work.
Okay.
So the platform More Than Words has actually been helping me behind the scenes. I might not be
So,
getting up on the stage, but being a part of that creative energy and seeing all these artists be brave enough to get up is one of those things that I draw from.
That's dope. Like
Yeah.
that's exactly hey, that is needed as well, man. We need the people that are willing to follow behind the scenes type action and things of that nature. That helps grow things as well. Like you said, you talked to Tony.
Hmm.
Like she was one of our feature artists and she's been doing her thing for a minute. We've been vibing out. So
Yeah.
like all of that kind of stuff, man, that's always needed, yo, and
Yeah.
keeping these artists thriving and going and actually thinking because they have to have someone to speak to. You have to
Yeah.
be able to talk. You know what I'm saying? You can't just go out there and do your music and not sell it.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It'll sell itself to an extent, but then they want to know who you really are and what
Right.
you're actually about. You
You
know?
got to make it a personal connection. And
Yeah,
I didn't realize like no one was talking to any of the creatives here. Not really like on this level. And so when I started creating space, I started with Guala, of course. And then I branched it out and because I realized I'm like, I'm really interested in who this person is. Like this person has dope music. Is anybody trying to figure out how they started, you know?
that's
And then
it.
yeah, and once I started, I was like, wow, like I am probably that first level to get them ready for interviews, if they've never had one before or if
Facts.
they had a few, it's just like I want to at least be encouraging on that level for them to understand like you don't have to be popping for somebody to be interested in what you're doing. Not
Uh-uh.
yet. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to ever be one of those people that thinks you have to be popular before that you can get the recognition that you deserve. So
You literally just piqued the interest, like you know what I'm saying, and I
mhm.
want to know about that. You know what I'm saying? What can I learn from you? I
Yeah.
mean, how that affected me. Like now,
Yeah.
I want to know why and who you are, and how did you come up with that?
Right.
We got so many songs. I keep saying my homie, but like that's how we kind of like. I heard his music, and I needed to know, oh, where's that coming from?
Mm.
Just create that, you live that, like you know what I'm saying. And the same applies for every artist that you deal with.
Yeah. I've definitely been learning a lot about just being a creative from having these conversations.
There you go.
So I hope it's helping other creatives to listen back to these episodes, whether it be you, whether it be some of the artists I've already interviewed, and just understand one that you're not alone in your journey, and two, it's probably something that they can help you on that you might not necessarily get um,
Facts,
from a conversation because sometimes we don't know which questions to ask.
facts.
So I'll ask this, but you don't have to answer it right now. What
Okay.
is your favorite More Than Words of all times? What show comes to mind when you think about like a great performance or great night?
My God, Guala just went stupid. I was so happy for him because usually his energy is real, like cool, you know what I'm saying, and he do his thing, but he turned the hell up. I
Hmm.
can't just say one, man. Like I don't have one simple. I'm such a fan of everybody up there. Like Easy went stupid,
Yeah.
and that was special for me because that was the first show my girl ever experienced, and he hit a home run for his feature. His uncle went the hell off like Easy fire. AZ show for me was he a personal favorite, and everybody
Right.
know that. That don't mean he better than anybody, but I just that my nigga. You know what I'm saying? So it
Because
is what it is.
you've been there since the inception too.
Yeah,
So
and he
that,
been there since day one. And
yeah,
you know those kind of guys. It's those that show right there. I can say scratch all of that. The show that we did at Francis Marion, that was more so of a actual show. It wasn't an open mic. That
right,
and we did it well. That's why I know there's a market for it and we can actually make it happen.
right.
Yeah, that's my favorite. If I have to name any kind of show, I'm not
How
gonna
long
say,
ago was it?
oh man, about a year and a half now because of the pandemic. You
Got
know,
it.
we haven't been able to go on campuses and do what we want to do, and
Hmm.
kind of held us up. But we're in the ballpark with it still. Once things open back up, we going full speed.
Right. And what other ways has the pandemic like because I mean, I would see that you going, especially to a local college and perform at that as like a step to your next level up. And then the pandemic hit. Like, so how has the pandemic kind of caused you to, I guess, backtrack or slow down?
Yeah. Well, first off, I want to say I've been blessed. Like I haven't had any traumatic losses or I haven't had to
Right.
experience that. So my heart goes out to anyone that has. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I'm here for you. You need to talk to somebody. I do that. You know what I'm saying? I talk all damn day. So You know what I mean? And I don't know what I can say to you, but holla at me.
Right.
My heart goes out to them. Anybody that has lost somebody through the pandemic, I sympathize with you. So I can touch on 2 points when it deals with that. There's that one. We've had to slow down. The
Mm.
world literally stopped. But the one benefit from that is, what will you do? Do you remain stagnant because things have slowed down, or what will you create?
Yes.
How will you make it? Because your baby got to eat. You got to get it. Like, so, I've watched these artists still create and still go through this thing. Like, in the midst of everything going on, you
Mm-hmm.
still somehow find a way to make it. You know what I'm saying? And that's one, I don't want to say great thing, but that just shows like resilience. And like, you
Yes.
can actually keep going, like even at the lowest points in life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, the pandemic slowed us down a lot, but in the midst of it, it strengthened us
Yes.
at the same time. So
Yeah.
yeah, of course, there's the shows that we haven't had, and we haven't been able to do festivals, and Florence After Five has been shut down, and a lot of money has been lost.
Mm.
But that has nothing to do with people's lives. Like, I'm
Yeah.
saying, lives have been lost. So like, I'm not worried about the money, man. Like, worrying about the energy and how we gonna keep creating it and keep doing this thing regardless of what's going on out there.
Right. I love that because I feel on a personal level when I think about, I've always known on some level that I was creative. But when you have that adversity, that outside, that you
Right.
can't, express it in the ways that you are used to expressing it, you find new ways. And that's how you really know, like, oh, okay, I'm creative for real.
Yeah,
Like,
it's gonna you're gonna prove it to yourself.
yeah.
Yep.
That's one thing that I think the pandemic has done for a lot of artists, a lot of creatives, is caused us to understand our depth of resilience and also just find new ways to reinvent the
Mm,
wheel.
mm. Praying for people or praying on them.
That's it. So we're gonna get into the support piece. So I'm probably gonna know the answer to this, but what was the reaction from your circle when you told them, "Hey, I'm creating this platform called More Than Words, and it's gonna be showcasing artists." Like,
Man,
how did that go?
this South Carolina and this Florence, and I hate to say that because my goal is to create something and make it happen and get that support, and you know what I'm saying. But you want me to be honest, it wasn't
Hmm.
always there. It's like, oh, that's what you're doing, cool, and that's that. And I agree with that in some form, because I, for one, believe more than words is something you have to experience. That's why I tell everybody they got to come out to a show.
Yeah.
You're not just going to feel the same way about it after you experience it. So I understand where their mindset is and where they're coming from, but I also understand that you need to be out here in order to fully understand what's going on here. Like,
Right.
you say you support, and it's easy to say that, but once you're out here, that's gonna multiply. Like, I
That's
already
it.
know it. Like, look at you. Like, I'm on here now. Like, I didn't expect that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's working, obviously.
It is. All it took was one for me. One
Look,
show I
and
went
they
to, and I was
look.
just
Tell the
like,
people. Tell them, man. All it took was one. Like,
I
you know what I mean?
promise. So I went out. Of course, I went out. And Guala and I are good friends. So like, I went out, and this was maybe like a year or so ago, and he was performing, and he had invited a couple of us out. Some other friends. We went out, and after like probably like halfway through the night, he comes over and he was just like, "I wanted you to come out because I really wanted you to just experience it." Basically. And I was just like, "Oh my god!" Like that
He
next day, I
knows.
think I text, and I was just like, I don't think I've ever, been in an environment where it was just creatives everywhere."
He knows. He knows the blueprint. Like, you
Yeah.
gotta be there. It's kind of like you can say you love someone or
Mhm.
something, but it doesn't mean much until you actually show it
Yeah.
or experience it. You know what I'm saying? So if you really like what we're doing, or if you really want to see what it's all about, gotta experience it, man. It's nothing without experience.
Yes.
You know?
So if you were in the Florence area,
Uh-huh.
like, and
Pull up.
Pull up. Okay, like it happens. I think y'all used to do it on what, Saturdays, but now it's on Sundays.
We switched up some dates. It was Thursday, then Saturday, now Sundays.
Thursday did used to be on Thursdays. Um, Either way, be on the lookout and understand like when you see more than words, it's gonna be good vibes and good energy all the way
Yeah,
around. And you can pull up, shout out to Absalom Hookah Lounge and John Quay
definitely.
for allowing the platform to just be, what it is. I think that's one of the great things too is he allows you to, still have your stamp on it.
Yeah, yeah,
And it's
yeah. He
yeah.
gets out of the way very well because I've had those kind of like people
Interactions.
like we were going to spaces and we weren't able to do certain things or say certain things, and I
Oh
don't
wow.
believe in putting a muzzle on artists.
Right.
Like you came out here, it's an open mic, and it's that for a reason. Like
Mm,
say what you want to say, bro. Like, so yeah,
right. I
he,
can't
he,
imagine an open mic without no cursing there. Like somebody got to get up and say something in a poem that's gonna shock you, or have a song that's gonna make you feel
they
it.
keep making me say ratchet shit. I just want to talk about love, but they keep making me talk about like all the crazy shit.
Oh man. What have you learned about gaining support when it comes to your creative venture and your platform?
Um, you got to be humble with it. Cause you can look at it two ways. Like support's gonna come, or if it and you have to control that a certain way when it does. You have to cater to the ones that are actually supporting you and putting that energy in the building. You
Mm,
have to shake hands, have to warm feelings and smiles, and it has to be genuine. Like because they're gonna tell after a while. I can
yeah.
tell. So and then there's the other side of those that haven't supported yet. You have to cater to them as well. One thing that my lady told me is show support regardless if they do or not. Be pure with yours. Right?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I've had to have that speech with someone myself.
Learn to coexist.
Mhm.
Through coexistence, you find peace within yourself. Like, regardless of what they're doing over there, I can still be here and it won't affect me
Yes.
too much because you pushed the wrong button. But
That's different. That's a different conversation.
different conversation. Right now, we talk about peace. Yeah,
We talk about war right now.
there you go. Our hearts are warm, minds are clear.
But yeah, that's something I had to teach myself, and that's something that I've had to have a conversation with others about when it comes to the support piece. Because sometimes you can feel jaded, like, dang,
Very much so.
I'm putting all this time, this energy, and this effort into other people, and I'm not getting even half of it back. But when you do things with a genuine heart, you don't have to worry about what comes back to you because you're not expecting anything back, right?
Yeah.
It's just like money. You know how people say you give
Oh,
money out.
look,
Wait, that's another conversation.
man, look. If I got back everything that I was owed, I'd be rich, man. Like I promise you. But like, I don't look at it that way.
Right.
So, you know,
Like they say, you give money out without the expectation that you're going to
there
get
you
it
go. And I
back.
have to. I wouldn't even give it.
Right.
In all honesty, if I had to think about it,
The,
I would not do it.
yeah.
You know.
So the same thing goes with support. And, a lot of times when you're so focused on who is in your corner, you take your focus off of what you're creating anyway. So make sure you always remember why you're doing what you're doing.
And I got a lot of dope people around me that remind me of that daily. Like me and
Yeah.
Koala have talks. AZ have talks. Easy is one that I call every now and then, and we have great conversations. Like Easy only y'all tap into what he doing. He's
Yes.
fire, and he know he is.
He
He's
listen.
humble, aggressive, like Bless,
Hmm.
but like he's humbly aggressive. Like that boy got some stamp on him, man. Like he done been on. She's got to have it with Spike Lee.
Right.
His music's been up there. That's dope. But he
Yes.
like, yeah, that's what's up. Nah, bro, nah, that's fire, bro. Like, calm down.
Right. Even during our conversation, because he was the last creating space I did
Okay.
last week. Um yeah, just big Leo energy and very
Yes,
much
sir. I'm king. I am.
okay.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah.
not a cockiness, and it's
No,
not an
it's
overbearing
confident.
cockiness. It's
Confident.
confidence, and I think
Yeah.
that's what I love about like um kind of diving into this part of like creation and talking to the artists is I'm noticing like the similarities between what it takes to do what they do. And I'm like, you gotta be confident.
Man, look, that is 100% of the reason you should go up there,
Yeah.
confidence. And if it isn't, then it should build confidence after you get up there, whether you fail or not.
Yes.
That should build that. Like if you built for it, and if not, you'll find out.
Yeah. So do you think that it's hard to gain support from those closest to you?
Yes, because they viewed you in a certain light all their life, so they're expectant of what you already are, or what
Mm,
they think you are or gonna become. They have the blueprint in their head, regardless if you see it or not. We all do it. We're
yeah.
human. We have a blueprint of our head of who we think someone is. You can't do that. Like mentally, it's insane. Like I don't know what's going on in your head right now. Only you do. So I really don't know who you are or what you will become. I only know what I experience from you, what I ingest, and then I can take that and learn from it or move on
Right.
from it. So like that support. Um, Everybody said I was gonna be a preacher. Well, I might be, but I ain't preaching what you think I was gonna be preaching.
And that's the
You know
thing.
what I'm
It's gonna
saying?
look a little different than what you thought it's
Hey,
gonna
you
look.
might be right, but guess what? It ain't that one. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about, you know what I'm saying, people's perception and how they view you.
Yeah.
That's the kind of support you get from them. They usually utilize that first. And like I said, going back to what my girl taught me, you got to support regardless
Mm.
of how you view someone. Like, all right, you did that good. I commend you. Congratulations. Until they show you that face, you gotta stay right here. You gotta stay calm.
Yeah.
Coexistence. You know what I'm saying? Move through. It
So what?
ain't easy.
I doubt it. I mean, but that's the best way to learn yourself is when you have to face, a hard task as far as like you're multitasking people at this point.
You hear me saying it, but I'm learning every day. Like, you know what I'm saying? I say that, but
Yeah.
it's a daily struggle because
Because that was my next
I'll mouth
question.
off real quick. Like you say the wrong thing to me, I'm gonna let you know you did it.
Big Capricorn energy.
And look, what are you talking about? Like, what up?
Man,
But
what?
I have to humble myself so no one else does.
Right.
You know what I'm
Because you
saying?
don't want to create a situation.
Hello.
So, like, what is the most you learn about yourself in this kind of leadership role?
Um. Oh man, I am. The Capricorn ways. I am. I won't say controlling, but I'm a control freak. So I
Mm.
want to put my hands on everything.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that is too overbearing. You have
Right.
to learn to delegate. That's still keeping your hands on it without ever touching it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing I've learned myself, like to delegate.
Right.
And after a while, you won't even have to look at what's going on or think about it. It'll happen on its own. The machine
Mm-hmm.
will work regardless if you say it. It'll work just like a body. You know what I'm saying? Like circular, everything is working regardless if we're thinking about it or not. The mind
Right.
and the heartbeats. That's all we need. The rest will flow.
That takes a lot of trust, and I know that for us it does, because I've run into that too. Because as a creative, I do all of it on my own, and I'm getting to a point where I'm just like, okay, now I need a little help. But with that
Mm-hmm.
help comes trust that you can delegate and it's going to get done, or it's going to get done to your standard. Or sometimes it might not be you, somebody might have something else that's going to work a little bit better, but you got to trust, their input
Mm-hmm.
as well. So it's an interesting journey when I think about how I'm evolving, in my own journey. That's why I asked, because I was just like, when you said delegate, that just sparked that question. Like,
Yeah,
it takes some
definitely.
trust to do that.
You need a team. Even
Yeah.
in sports where there aren't teams, there's coaches and people behind the scene that are training and practicing. So that is a part of the team itself.
Hmm.
Tennis, there's one person on there swinging the racket. Golf, you're one person putting, but he has a coach and he practices and they strategize and they map out how they're going to do everything. That takes a team. You're
Right.
going to always need a team. Even if you single it up there, you up there by yourself, but still need a team, man. You got to have somebody behind you. Like I've had great people behind me, like and beside me and in front of me. Like there's Tanya. Like if I didn't have my right hand, she wouldn't be any less better than that one. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
she has been amazing to everything and instrumental in everything that I've done.
Okay. So how do you go about connecting with new creatives?
Ooh, uh, exactly what I said earlier: shaking hands, experiencing, and doing what I do. Um, support leads to that, of course, but you have
Mhm.
to comb the room. You have to move around, connecting with new creatives. It just allows yourself to be open a little bit,
All right.
be approachable. In my side of the game, that's needed. I need people to come talk to me. I need people to find out what's going on because that's how I'm. That's why I'm portraying it. Like that's what I need to show you. Like what is actually going on during this show. How are we going to do it? What's behind the scenes? I don't mind sharing all of that information. You know what I'm saying? That's just going to lead to better at the end of the day for both sides, really.
All right. Um, so what kind of like different ideas and energy and insight have you gotten from your team?
Oh man, like everybody comes with something. Um, we got a thing we call the code, and it's an acronym for Creators of Dope Energy. So we
Ooh,
all, yeah. So
y'all
the
need to make
code,
shirts.
yeah, go ahead, let's do it. You part of it
Oh.
right now. This is part of that code. Just conversations with certain people in my life, like easy. We'll chop it up. We got some endeavors coming up, like in Colombia. We got a couple of things coming up. So like I ain't gonna speak on it too early.
Right.
But we got a couple of things coming up, and it's just like it always happens. And during the conversation, he's had to stop and start laughing because it was so perfect the way that things lined up. The way he's like, "Bruh, I was just setting this thing up, and for you to call and start talking about this, it's like energy just started like."
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Already connected.
It always happens that way. Whether it's AZ and our shirt line that we're doing, we got Crooked Curve. That's another branch off of what More Than Words doing and AZ's doing. We're rebranding South Carolina. So
Yes.
South Carolina is known for crooked letter, curved letter, SC.
Mm-hmm.
They call it khaki lackey or South Cat. I don't know.
Yeah.
So we split it out and we ain't saying that no more. So
Right.
from now on, it's Crooked Curve from where I stand. Like the Crooked Curve, crooked letter, curved letter.
Right.
Yeah, you'll see shirts and everything. So we're gonna rebrand and bring it back out heavy.
So you're making a little hub now.
Yes, ma'am. Community.
Right. I mean, exactly community, but um because a lot of people, they're right when they say that you can't really trace a lot of big artists back to South Carolina. And the understanding of like or the thought process that it's hard for anybody to make it, you know, because we don't really have an industry. But I think
It's,
what you're doing is where it starts.
yeah, and it is it's a bit true. Um, Charlotte's one of those places. North Carolina's just getting there. I mean, we had J. Cole that struck a fire to that place. Thank
Yeah.
God he still claimed it. I mean, a long
Right.
time ago there was PD Pablo, but he got locked up. So it is what it is. He had one good
Shout out to
song.
PD Pablo.
He had one song that people like, but like we've had people in North Carolina.
Yeah.
South Carolina just hasn't had that one artist yet that struck fire, and there's plenty of them. And I believe that's got a lot to do with the economy and things based around here. Like we're a slow
Yeah.
money state. It's made to move slowly. It's
Hmm.
built for that. It's built for retirement. They don't want all that hoopla and all that rah rah shit
I'm
going
about to
on.
say this is a retirement state, if
Yeah,
nothing else.
we first to succeed from the union and last to join back. There's a reason that we're slowed down. Used to get all the Jordans last. We used to get all the mixtapes and CDs
Everything.
last. Everything was last over
Songs on the
here.
radio.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So the song been out for a year, it just playing.
I'm
You know
telling
what
you,
I'm
and you
saying?
think it is hot fire. Somebody like, girl, I heard that months ago.
Yeah. Luckily, we're in the world of technology now, and things are more
Yeah.
acceptable. So now you're starting to see a wave of South Carolina artists that are doing their own thing. Independence is where it's at.
Yeah.
So now you get to see these artists, but just like you said, we're not in industry yet. So
Hmm.
we don't have enough people here to actually like push them onto the global platform that they deserve.
Yes.
But once it happens, it happens. I mean, I can say North Carolina, but just like the baby, like he wasn't global. He had to
Hmm.
shoot somebody on and defend his life before they found out that he was good, and he's been
Hmm.
that good. He's out for 10 years, but
Right.
something traumatic had to happen. I don't want that experience, man. I want people to realize that it's pure already. Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? He could have had to go through that for you to realize that he
Yeah.
was dope.
Because it is. I'm
Yeah.
like, it's for me when I first, heard a lot of these artists, my mind was blown. I was just like,
Right. The
and I'm
shit.
not somebody who listens to independent music like that. I've
Right.
never been somebody that follows the mixtapes and stuff outside of
Right.
J. Cole. I don't know, the underground. What is that? But
Yeah.
now that I'm looking, it's like you peel back a curtain
You
and
almost
all
don't
these.
even want to hear nothing else.
I don't
Like
even
you
think
got
I
like you get
listen.
exclusives now. Like,
I'm
oh yeah,
telling
they
you.
around here. You know what I'm saying? That's our stamp. That's our stain.
Oh
Like
my
they
goodness.
around here.
They're so good. And I'm like, it's no way you're this good. And what's on the radio is what's on the radio. I'm not trying to knock
It's
nobody
it's
else.
it
Art
is
frustrating.
I can't wait to get this bag so I can put it behind them. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And they're gonna create their own. I ain't worried about getting it
Yeah.
back because they're gonna get theirs. You know what I'm saying? All I need to
Hmm.
do is give them a platform to do it.
That's it. And that's why I said the industry starts with, I think, people like you, people like me, and also the artists understanding that, yeah, you can try to be the best and have some kind of like friendly competition, but you're going to win the most when you support and you band together with each other
Right.
and create that industry for yourselves, create that space again for, what you got going on and the person next to you. Because when you do that, that buzz and that spark is gonna just ignite the whole state.
Man, look, I promise you, like sometimes it's hard because you got to continuously show love, and just like there's people on my side of the game that want to showcase those talents and do it from a pure stance. There's also the leeches and the bloodsuckers. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? And that deals with artists as well. Those are artists that
Yeah.
are out there that are copycats and doing their thing like that. But we don't
Yeah.
worry about them because guess what? Hey,
I always say
we
I got
built
more where that
different.
came from. Like if you want to steal something, you know what, go
We
ahead.
built different, man. Like they can't do it forever. You
You
know,
can't.
honor amongst thieves. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. And my creative energy is long lasting. So go ahead and bite if you need to, but understand that I'm the source.
Try to rob me if you want to. Go ahead, pull up.
Pull up, okay. This South Cat, what you said, this
Yeah,
cricket left.
go quick left, and
I'm not doing this with you. Look.
yeah, we about peace.
Yeah, peace to the Middle East and all
Mm.
that. What kind of support do you currently need as a creative?
Oh man, I just need you to show up.
Mm.
The rest will happen. Experience it. The
Wh-
rest will happen.
What different ways do you think people can show up in
Oh,
support of more than words?
I got to do my part. I got to get it out there a little bit. Like I said, we're in the world of technology. You're helping me right now, actually, talking about my platform and everything that's going on. Like this is very instrumental in what we need to happen. People need to hear about it. People need to be intrigued. They need to experience. To experience it, it needs to spark a little bit. It has to have some interest. So
Yeah.
now I want to take time out of my day, which I respect everybody's time. So I want to take time out of my day and come out there and experience what you got going on. It's a tough pill to swallow sometimes. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Especially if you don't know or really have no interest in that at all. But I promise you, you let us adopt you, we'll have a family. I promise
That's
you every
it.
time.
Because now, especially since I've been, talking more to the artists, I go out there, everybody dap up, like everybody speak. And I'm just like, oh, this is so awesome. Like I've never, had a creative hub. I've
It's a
always been
family. Yeah.
right. I've always been the creative room, the one out of every group. And now that you have so much to draw from, it's just a good energy all around.
Welcome home, yeah.
Welcome home.
Welcome home.
Yeah. Um, what I think is interesting is I know for me, the whole marketing part of it is something that I'm still trying to learn because you mentioned that earlier, as far as like marketing the platform and getting the message out that More Than Words is here and is dope. What ways are you trying to do that outside of like, I know social media is always one of those ways that we're trying to do it, but what other ways have you thought of?
I still believe in guerrilla marketing,
Mm,
regardless. The pandemic has slowed that down a lot, but I really believe in the transfer of energy.
right.
Sometimes social media can, well, most times social media can make that look like it is something and it isn't. you don't really get that pure energy from people, or you don't really understand where they're coming from. I
Yeah.
believe once you've experienced it, you've had face to face out there with us, and you've interact, you've seen the energy, you've experienced the energy. I believe in guerrilla marketing, like going up to people, speaking about what we do, showing them what we do, whether we got to hit a street corner and vibe out, you know what I'm saying, with a speaker
Right.
or whatever. I'm fine with all of that. I'm old school hip hop. I'm from the street corner where you freestyling and you know what I'm saying, you're in the backyard cooking and grilling and
That's
all of
the
that. You know what I'm saying?
best.
People gotta experience it. So like that's
Hey.
one way to kind of market yourself. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? Showcase it. Show them what
Yes.
you got. You know what I mean? It ain't gotta be a picture or a post all the time. That's work. That works, but
Hmm.
actually go out there and do something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Um. So, how do you see support lacking in this area for artists and creatives?
It's just a matter of time, really. Support is lacking because, like we spoke on a little earlier, industry.
Mm,
But all it's gonna take is one spark,
that's it.
one spark, and it's gonna go crazy around here. You
I
already know
believe
that.
so too. It's because
Man,
it's already here. Like you said,
it,
it's
it
already
is,
here.
it is, and it's tough because they're doing everything in their power. I say they, but they're doing everything in their power to keep it a slow money state because
Hmm.
we're ready for industrialism. There's a reason that they won't raise minimum wage up to $15 an hour because gas will have to go up, and we don't have any public transit. So, like, you know what I'm saying?
How people gonna
They're gonna
manage?
have to do something about that.
Yeah.
Taxes and wages will go up. Look at every place around South Carolina. All of those things happen because they actually get a bag. What is South Carolina lacking? There's no foreigners riding around here like that. There ain't no women riding around with no $1,000 bags in their closet and
You
on their.
already know.
You know what I'm saying? So you can talk like that and you can want to be about that, but it really ain't happening, baby.
Right.
Like you might have one or two, or you might splurge a little bit, and that's fine. You worked hard for it, you deserve it. But we should be able to see that every day.
Right.
I shouldn't see a foreign car and be like, oh shit, nah, that's normal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
South Carolina isn't there yet. Once we get there, and it's gonna take one spark, it's gonna ignite a flame across this whole entire state. I promise you. And I think I got a couple of them in the crew. You know what I mean?
You think the whole crew? I'm just
Yeah,
like you can probably just close your eyes and pick anybody out from the more than words crew, the
facts,
and put them on the radio, and I promise you,
facts,
it's
facts.
gonna pop. And I'm like, if a lot of times if I listen to something on the radio and I'm just like, so and so better than this, or either I'll
It's
put
real.
I'll put on AZ, or I'll put on Easy, or I'll put on Gandy, or I'll put on Guala.
Oh
I'll
man,
put on these artists.
oh man.
Especially like the other day, the sun was out, the breeze was good. You put on these
Yeah.
artists, and it's just like,
Perfect time to listen
man,
to some J Cash or something. You know
that's
what I'm saying? Like,
it.
hey, we on, bro. Like we got a couple feature. We got another feature show coming up this week. It's gonna be fire.
Who's your featured show this week?
My homeboy Fonte, he called himself Mike Lowry. You know what I'm saying? He gonna get up
Night
there.
Mike Larry.
Yeah, it's gonna be a ladies' night. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
Yeah, he gonna get up there and turn up for him. I already know he coming with the energy. I
I'm gonna try my
appreciate
best
his
to make
energy.
that. Yeah,
Hopefully
yeah,
you
yeah,
can.
yeah.
It'll be a blessing if
Yeah.
you can. I appreciate everybody's time. I promise.
So, if you could do anything for the More Than Words platform right now, what would you do?
I'll put a bag behind it.
That's
I promise.
it.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I work hard for my money and I spend it well.
Hmm.
Um, but if I had it to just to throw into something, I ain't shame. I grew up. Hey, I grew up. I got 7 people household. Like it wasn't rough. My daddy kept food on the table and the light stayed on. He did his thing regardless of how he got it.
Hmm.
But like if I can put a bag behind something, it'll be that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I got my family. I got them. If I could do that, it's over with. You know what I'm saying? I already
Right.
know it. It's over with.
So, do you
Everybody
feel
gonna
like
be chasing behind our coattail, but guess what? It's hard to catch a train when it's moving. You better
that's
get on that
it?
to stop. You better get on that to stop. You know what I'm saying? While we
Repeat
going
that for the
slow,
people.
it's hard to catch a train when it's moving. You better get on that the next stop, or when it going slow. You know what I mean? When we start moving, you'll see them following behind. But guess what? You're gonna have to impress us. You have to do some cowboy shit.
Not
Yeah,
Tonto and the horse.
something. Oh,
I just I tweeted something the other day that was kind of, saying that same sentiment. It's just like I said, I don't need for you to be popping for me to like take an interest in you, because it's the hunger that I can relate to. It's that hunger that you got that makes me want to listen. But you, just like you said, like a lot of times people don't want to support until they see other people doing it. And by then it's just like you supporting because you're a follower, not because you're interested in what I got,
and
not
guess
because
what?
you can relate.
Guess what? Guess what? I appreciate them followers too.
That's too.
Follow
And I
and follow
had
me
that
on Twitter.
conversation. Listen, it's
Since
all
you a follower.
necessary. Look, listen, it's all necessary now.
You
We ain't
know.
saying what
You know what I'm
necessary.
saying? You know what I'm saying? Like I appreciate them too. Hell, you know what I'm saying? Some people
Yeah.
learn a little slower, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And some people have to experience through others. Like I've been a victim of that. There's been
Hmm.
songs I've heard people playing. I'm like, that shit whack. After the 30 of listen, I'm rapping every damn word. You know what I'm saying? We all got our woes and trials. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna hold them. But you right.
Yeah. Yeah. But and that's like because the last ones to follow will be the first ones to leave. When you
Hello.
think of
They
artists,
might they might pave the way for something.
they might pave the way for something, but when you think of artists and the ones that get popping, and as soon as something goes down in the media, here go their own fan base turning against them.
Over they with it. You know what I'm saying? They with it.
Right. So, that's to say, like, really appreciate the people who are there at the inception of what you're trying to do, or who are helping to develop you, and who are listening, to what you need and what you have to say.
And those are the ones you cater to. You know,
Yes.
I appreciate them all, but certain people get catered to and spoiled, and they
Yeah.
deserve that because they worked for it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Move to the front of the line.
So what has creating space done for you on a personal level?
Ooh, um, peace. I
Mm.
need it. I was told to. I was uh, all over the place with my mind as a young man. So I didn't talk much, but I would overthink everything, and I still do that to today. Um, but writing kind of helped me find balance and center. And I started just with a journal. My mom is a writer. She'd write down everything. She'd write her day up. She'd write down about her day, like, through affirmations and prayer and faith and meditation. And she'd write about her day. She did hair. She between clients, she'd write about what's going on in her head. I started to do that, and I'm a fan of music, so I put both of them together. Big fan of R&B and rap.
Mm.
Um, Rap is an acronym for rhythm and poetry. So I'm like, well, let's see what that poetry stuff about. Like I can already freestyle. I can spit a little bit. I'm pretty intelligent. I can have a thinking mind. So like, let's see what kind of things I can construct and who can I impress. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So it gave me a piece, man, just performing and actually creating something with my own words and my own thoughts. Like it's um it's my own form of meditation, right?
You got to have those moments where the it's one of those nights where you look around and you realize you did that you
Uh-huh.
brought all those people together. I know that has to be like a good feeling for you to know, like, all these artists, all these creatives, all these poets and spoken word, all these people are there experiencing what you provided them.
It's the eye of the storm. Like it's chaotic all around it on the week leading up to it, but by the time it gets there and you center yourself,
Hmm.
that it runs so smooth and it's so peaceful, man. Just to watch all of that go on at once. There's
Right.
something beautiful about a storm. Like
Yeah.
just watching it happen, and I get to see that shit happen every Sunday. You know what I'm saying?
But I like that analogy, because when I think about my process too, sometimes it's just chaotic. Like you said, it's
Man,
just
look,
like you're trying to do this, you're trying to make sure this happens, you're trying to talk to this person, you're trying to make sure this information gets out. And it's just like boom, 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 boom,
I
because
promise you.
perfectionism again. And then you get there and you're just like, oh, this is perfect. We
Yeah,
good.
yeah, this shit worked. Damn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because sometimes it's hard to be proud of yourself when you're always trying to level up,
Mhm.
right? um and you need to, like, I just want you, like, this next show, just take a moment, you know don't even go, after you made your rounds, after you then kicked it with the guys for a second, just step back and just look at the fact that you provided a platform for people to experience it, and the experience is something that nobody can take away from you.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to create the experience, and I might be missing out on it myself sometimes. So you're right. I do need to take a moment to reflect. I appreciate that advice. I'm a
Yeah.
definitely utilize
No, it's advice I have to tell myself often. So,
it. That's kind.
yeah.
I know.
um, I think I asked that one. I'm sorry. I'm going
You
down.
good. I
So what?
might give you a different answer.
What other creative interests do you have? So you said that you do poetry. You've done, your rap. Like any other outside of like the word forms that you are
Hmm.
interested in?
Yeah, definitely. Videography. I'm pretty good at it. I can put together some scenes. Photography. I have a
Mm,
great eye. Um, I've worked with a couple people, a couple projects. AYS Media, Miss Tanya. We've worked with her and everything she's got going on. What's my guy name's Brandon? Man, what is his name? Peaceful Visions.
mm-hmm.
Amazing photographer, up and coming brother, and I just watch him grow. Amazing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Those are some things that I love. Photography, my camera right there in the corner. I need to utilize it more often, but it's there and I'm good at it.
Yeah, I see y'all out with it sometimes.
Yeah, and there's also art.
Yeah.
Um, since I do have a good eye, it comes from me being able to draw and paint. I can paint you sitting right there if I wanted to, and you'd love it. I recently painted a picture for a young lady that I like.
That you like.
Yeah. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like I do that as well, and that's another form of finding peace and meditating
Right.
through art. Like it's about more than words. So when I tell you, like, I try to incorporate everything that I do and I enjoy into this whole thing that I'm trying to create or have created,
Mm-hmm.
that's exactly what it's about. Like
But it's
visual arts, dance, all of that. I like to dance.
right.
I don't do it much often, but I like it. I love R&B. I'm an R&B type nigga. Like, yo, I ride around listening to Genuine and Casey and JoJo and
Brian McKnight.
I'm
Okay.
telling you,
Carl
all
Thomas.
of all of that. Summer rain, and then hop out like I
Mm.
was listening to Gucci. You know,
Come on now.
like,
Um, dang, you made me think of a question. You mentioned your lady. Is she a creative?
oh, definitely, and she is very intelligent. Graduated top of her class.
I
She
know
don't
that's
like to
right.
talk about that, but yeah, she keeps me balanced, man, and that's what I need.
Yeah.
I be fucking up. So, like, yeah, hey, it is what it is. I don't know why she's still here. Shit.
Why you be messing up, Ty?
Look, I'm dumb a little bit, a little bit. I get it after a while. I'll be like, yeah, I just not fucked up, but I'm gonna get that right.
Like,
I'm
I'm
gonna get
sorry.
that
Let's just work with me in a minute.
right. And the fact that she supports, she doesn't have to.
Yeah.
She gives her time and her energy to things, and not just me. I watch her do it with other people as well. Like, and that's probably one of the most things I enjoy about her. Like watching her, you know what I'm saying, show love so
Right.
pure. Like she got a big ass heart, and she do a lot. She support every show, man. She's just telling me, giving me some pointers. She told me to mention how much she loves Dreamers by AZ and Makia. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
yeah, yeah. She really be on top of things. If she really likes something or if she's focused on it,
Hmm.
ain't nothing gonna get in her down way about it. And that shit sexy.
I know that's right. Shout out to her. But I asked because I know it has to be a very unique and beneficial experience to have someone else so close to draw that creative inspiration and energy from.
It's beneficial,
Hmm.
and I just got to do my part.
You,
She's doing an excellent job.
we
Making
we
me,
we
hey,
gonna pray for
look,
you, Ty.
look. I ain't afraid to say it, man. Like, hey, I plan on doing it, so I gotta be about it. I can't just
Yeah,
be ashamed of it either now. But yeah, she pretty fucking dope. I gotta catch up. I thought I
that's
was fly, but god damn.
it. Us women, we have our ways of requiring the men beside us to look at themselves and see how they can step up.
I wouldn't have it no other way. She pulling the best out of me. So
Yeah.
that's what's needed. I can see her, she's making me worse, but you pulling the best out of me. Make me strive for better. So yeah, that'll work.
Y'all hear that, man?
It is
Appreciate
what
your
it is.
ladies. Um, let's discuss being a creative in the South. I think we kind of touched on it with the whole support, but what kind of good, unique things do you think comes with being a creative in the South?
Oh, we the first of our kind.
Mm,
Yeah, the South got something to say. Just like when Atlanta first struck, South Carolina gonna do the same. Like I tell you,
yeah.
we South Carolina got something to say, and it's only a matter of time before it happens. And the beautiful thing is, we the dinosaurs, baby. We the first of our kind right here. Like yo, we gonna set the blueprint for what this shit is all about. And when they remember how it started, we'll be written in the history books forever. Like
Yeah.
ain't nobody gonna do it like us. Like, well, they might. We might birth them though, but we
Yeah.
doing it right now. Like it ain't happened yet, and we know that it hasn't happened yet. I plan on seeing that happen. So
Yeah.
I'm speaking it into existence. We the first of our kind, and the last of a dying breed.
The last of a dying breed. Ain't nothing like South Carolina. It's a lot out here, and every place has, its own uniqueness. But like you said, we haven't seen South Carolina on a grand scale. And it's
It's
just
coming.
so much built up here that's just ready to just explode.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
I promise you. Like Charleston has been developing and doing their
Hmm.
thing. They got places like the college areas, and actually Orangeburg has a lot going on
Yeah.
when it comes back to the college scene, like because that's the only thing there. But you know what I'm saying? Like
Plenty of
you
colleges.
gotta yeah, you gotta pay attention to these HBCUs and what they got going on these campuses. But that leads to support.
Mhm.
We gotta show up and show out. If we
Yeah.
don't do it by ourselves, how can we expect it? We can't just travel it forever. Like that's a bag. I love traveling. I'd love to do that all the time, but I'd love for home to be as relaxing as well.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
let's get into that. You said that, traveling and having to put in that kind of work is financially sometimes straining. So let's get into the financial and the mental emotional aspects of being your type of creative. Tell
Okay.
us about that.
Um, if not managed well, I'm an accountant, so like I have to learn how to manage finance and really structure myself in a certain way to where I'm always comfortable with what's going on around me,
Hmm.
overhead and all. Um, it can be detrimental if not managed right. You can actually destroy something great. And you see a lot of artists go through that because they are independent and the industry aren't behind them yet. You'll see it happen so much. And that's why a lot of us has died. That's why I'm focused more so on benefiting from that energy than looking into what the industry is doing.
Right.
Like we have a great artist every now and then. He doesn't have enough money behind his project, so nobody listens. Now he's discouraged and doesn't want to record anymore.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? That's a knock at his spirit. That's a knock at his energy. It affects the physical because you're not performing. It affects your spirit because no one sees you. It affects your pocket because you're investing in yourself if you believe in yourself. So all of those three things tie into each other. It can be detrimental if not managed the right way. But if you get out here, you do it the right way, and you're actually good at what you do, something's gonna come out of it. You don't put one seed in the ground, you put three.
Yes.
And then you gotta cultivate, you gotta flourish, you gotta protect it, you gotta do everything in your power to make sure that seed grows.
Right.
You know what
Because
I'm
the
saying?
work don't stop when you get
Hell
that first, that first growth piece of growth. It continues. You continue to
no.
nurture. You continue to breathe life into your creative.
Over and over and over again.
And it comes
Um,
in the form of investing
mm,
mentally, emotionally, financially.
Sometimes it's draining, but
Sometimes.
you gotta find things that are gonna boost that energy as well.
Right.
Like show to me, like I told you, sometimes it's a storm and it's chaotic, but by the time it actually happens, it's
Right.
always worth it. Man, I
Hmm.
cooked all day, but I'm finally eating. Like yo,
Right.
it's the same thought process behind it.
Right.
You gotta put some work into it.
Uh there's this quote that I never agreed with where it's like, if you do the thing you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
Mm,
And I'm like, has this person ever worked on a passion? Because
man, look,
This is work. It's the best kind of work, but
yeah,
you're expending your energy and you're putting so much into it. Whether you are, uber successful or you're just getting started, it's requiring so much of you, and it's on a
facts.
personal level. It's one thing to work for someone else, when you're working on your own stuff, it's like you pour everything you have into it, or you should be.
I agree
And
because I believe what you work on is your actual job in
yes.
life. My job is an artist. That's what I'm working towards. My
Mm,
occupation, I'm a bridge specialist for the South Carolina Department of Transportation. That's what occupies my time from 7 o'clock to 5:30 every day,
right.
and that's what pays my bills for right now. But that is not my job here on Earth.
Right.
That is just what occupies my time. I am
Yes.
an artist. That's what I was created to do. That's what I'm going to do. And that's what I have
Hmm.
to find out how to make work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just a little gem for people that need to find out their way or what they want to do, or you might be in a dead end job and you know you need to be doing something. That's not your job. That's your
Right.
occupation. That's what
And I'm
occupies
telling
your
you,
time and space at the time.
you will be uncomfortable whenever you're not doing anything with what that passion is.
Mhm.
And I'm not someone that's going to tell you quit your 9 to 5 for your 5 to 9, because sometimes your 9 to 5 is helping you get what you need for your 9 to 5. I mean, your 5 to 9. But I will say that pay attention to how uncomfortable you are when you're doing this work,
Facts.
because you will feel like no matter how tired I am, like after this, I got to edit a whole episode for tomorrow, right? That's going to take at least an hour or two. Um, I'm excited to do it.
It's your passion.
It's my passion. I
That's your
before
real job.
it's
You're
my
gonna work
real
on it.
job, and I don't mind putting in what I need to put in to make it work. Now, it's some days that I come in here, I'm just like, I don't feel like recording, but then after I'm finished, I feel like I was the truest form of myself, because I'm doing something that I'm actually, I don't know, invested in completely,
Mhm.
mentally, physically, emotionally. I'm actually doing something that is a part of who I am at my core. So,
There you go.
you know, just think about that whenever you feel discouraged, and understand, like, you probably working a job for somebody else. May as well put in some work for yourself and
I
what you
promise
want.
you, man. You got 24 in one day. If you working 10 of those every day, then and you traveling to that job, that's another hour possibly traveling to it. So let's just say 12 or 11 of those every
Mm,
day. And you've got what? You got to get some sleep. So let's just say you sleep 6 to 8 hours every day. You've eliminated 20 hours already of your day
mm,
just processing it. How are you going to spend the other four for yourself? What are you going to do about that?
right.
Like, you gotta do something, man. And you gotta hustle. You gotta get them 4 in, man. At least 4 hours dedicated to yourself a day. If
Yes.
you gotta lose sleep, cool. Get it on one day or something like that. You know what I mean? Get you a
Right.
resting day. Jesus did
Listen, we ain't Jesus out here. We need some sleep.
it. I am God's son.
But that's it. Um, I'll ask another question, because this kind of came up, I think, earlier today. So I have a couple of different friend groups, and one of my friend groups, they put in our group chat. You know how we all got some kind of group chats going on behind the scenes, and she asked if we can do uh an event for us to, highlight what we like to do. So our passions. So a lot of my friends are starting to realize they are creative. They are starting to realize they have other passions. And when I saw it, not through arrogance, but when I saw it, I was just like, here's the influence, the inadvertent influence that I know that I've been, my interactions with these people has probably birthed something in them for them to
There you
start
go.
looking at their own lives.
And that's
Do you,
okay.
do you have any of that you feel
Yeah.
like you've influenced other people around you?
It is nothing wrong with knowing how great you are.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Or that you're better at something. I'm not better than anyone, but I do best at this thing, and I'm very great at this thing. And there's nothing wrong with having that. It's not
Right.
arrogant. It's not cocky. It's a little confident, and I know what I'm capable of.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with you feeling that way. You knew that. Like, you knew you put in that work. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be inspired by somebody, and hopefully you've inspired them. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
what we want to do. For if you look around your circle and you don't see anybody that inspiring you, get out of that fucking circle
Okay.
quickly. You know what I'm saying? And if you can't do the same for them, you probably need to move out their way too.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, that's a good thing. That's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing. All the people I'm around inspire me, and I hope I
Yeah.
can do the same for them.
Right. Because like I said, I was so used to being the only outwardly creative person. And I've just
Right.
started my journey within the last, couple of years actually being really present in my creative.
You woke up something in somebody that they didn't know
Yeah.
they had, man.
And I'm
It's
starting, it's like a domino effect. And I'm just like, and I was so happy when I saw it. I was just like, oh my gosh. Like I want that for everyone to know, like what she said was I realized I'm more than my 9 to 5. And I'm just like, yes, girl.
beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, you gotta realize that.
Yeah, you
You'll be
have
stuck
to.
there forever. I
Jesus.
don't plan on working forever. I can
I
tell
can't
you that.
be.
Not at a 9 to 5.
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna work on me forever.
That's it. Keep
Uh,
learning, keep getting better, keep growing.
uh, oh yeah.
So, at the closeout of this, I want to ask, what advice would you give to other creatives and artists who are scared to get started?
Um, Scared money don't make money. Like if you want to get out there and you want to do something and you want to see if you're capable of doing it, the best way to actually do that is to do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can be scared, but you only in your own way.
You ain't got to yell at me, Ty. I'm going to do that
I
poem
ain't
one day.
look, I ain't gonna pressure you. I'm just saying, pressure does a lot of great things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if I gotta push you a little bit, it's gonna tell me I'm gonna apply pressure. It's gonna tell me whether you solid or you gonna fold. And I believe you solid, man. You know what I'm
Oh, I'm
saying? I had a
solid
whole
now.
conversation with you now. You know what I'm saying? I believe you solid. So I know it's in you. Yeah. Yeah. If I
Yeah.
can give any advice, it's just try yourself, man, before somebody else do.
Yeah. You said before somebody else try you.
Yeah, I promise.
What's that song that came out a while ago? Try Jesus, don't try
Yeah.
me.
Don't try me. Yeah, try yourself before somebody else do. You know what I mean? So,
What is your life quote that you live by? What
life
gets you
is
by
what
that?
you make it.
Life is what you make it. I know
I
you
wrote a poem about it, and I
go ahead and
live
do
it.
the poem
I
for us,
live
Ty.
it. Oh man, see, you
Oh,
gonna make
now
me do that?
listen. This is a
I'll
very
give you an
special
insert
creative.
of it.
Yeah, give me a little something. This is a very
You're trying to
special
beat me
creative
up.
space.
All right, all right. Innocent by standards, guilty by standards. Lucky if a dollar and a dream is what they hand us. See, that ain't even enough to make it off the corner. It's gonna take a lot to come up off the block, boy. If you want it, that's pain and sacrifice. But I'm just trying to live my life. Although I'm tired of slaving in these fields every day and night. You see, the grind ain't free. Shine ain't free, and sacrificing my time and the 9 to 5 ain't free. I got to keep the peace to keep the peace, right? Because keeping his face on our pieces don't really mean we know Jesus. Check the thesis, place the pieces. Drug dealers, hustlers, teachers, preachers, they all just trying to reach us. That's all something in common. Knowing not much is common. Find myself thinking twice about the category that I'm in. Long nights in the studio rhyming, just to try to figure out the position that I'm in. But life is what you make. Real gonna always recognize the real, so please don't fake it. Some people gonna love your success, some gonna hate it, but opportunity will pass you by if you don't take it. So don't ever mistake it, because life is body counts on the rise. Watch as the number towers. Restraints placed on our brains by these soul devours. But if you just break those mental chains, you decrease their power. 60 minutes, men marching, we in these streets for hours. I know the hand you dealt should be played according to what you bid, but life is based on what you gave and not only what you get. The fancy clothes, the brand new J's, and jewelry won't do shit if you don't know from where you came and who you gonna leave with. It's 34 years on this earth. Feels like I just arrived. 34 years to know my worth. Why do I feel deprived? It's like Noah kicked me off the ark. I'm one of a kind and I shouldn't be alive, but in the abyss of deep, deep dark, see, somehow I still survive. So with success on my mind, my thoughts are stacked up through the roof, thinking if these walls could talk, I wonder would they tell the truth. They'll probably say something like, life is what you make it. Real gonna always recognize the real, so please don't fake it. Some people gonna love your success, some gonna hate it, but opportunity will pass you by if you don't take it. So don't ever mistake it, because life is the pastor that used to be a thug that pray like a preacher. Round world spin round, tell me who your teacher, who your maker, and who's gonna reach it. Don't mess around and let the arms of Lucifer greet you. Choose the water over wine, the fish over the swine. Meditate to elevate your heart, soul, and your mind. You got 20/20 vision, but can't see that you still blind.
Mm.
Just look within yourself. You'd be surprised what you can find. I used to cry because of the pain. Now I smile because of the same. Because this brother finally made it. It wasn't that I sat back and waited. It was all anticipated, yet all premeditated. I studied hard for this one moment. Still, I wonder how to grade it. Fuck those who said this flow would be debated. I just take your comments, roll it up, light it, and get faded. See, the hate makes me higher. The high makes me flyer. Blowing smoke up, I'll be these lungs because I'm steady spitting. Life is what you make it. Real gonna always recognize the real, so please don't fake it. Some people gonna love your success, some gonna hate it. An opportunity will pass you by if you don't take it. So don't ever mistake it, because life is.
What you make it.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my God. I forgot I heard you do this poem. I think the first time I had ever gone to the show, and you got up and you did it.
That's my mantra.
And oh my God, how do you remember all that?
Um, I'm blessed. Freestyling, I'm freestyle bass, and I could just come up with words very easily. So like
Right.
after I write it down, I don't
That's
know.
it.
Like maybe it's because I used to write a lot when I was little, and now I have to write something down one time and it's stuck. So I got
Builders,
like
that was off the top
thousands
of
of
the
poems out
dome.
there. Yeah,
He
I got
wasn't looking
thousands
down at his phone. He wasn't looking at no paper. He was spitting from memory.
of.
Okay. So I just want y'all to
Appreciate
know
it.
that life is what you make it. That was just the culmination of everything we just said.
Mhm.
Everything.
Oh
And you
yeah.
so eloquently just like annihilated this whole creative space.
Hey, I'm glad I could do it for you as a poet, man. It's sometimes tough for us, but that was dope.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, one last question.
Hmm.
What is your favorite song right now? It can be a local artist, it can be a song on the radio, but what is your song right now?
Man, look, Fonte and them got a fire song that they gonna perform this weekend, man. I keep forgetting the name of it, but come out and they gonna perform that job, and that job fire, bro. Like I keep forgetting the name of it, but Mike Lowry and Hefe gonna jump on that bit and they gonna go hard. But I gotta say, I don't really have a favorite song. I listen to so many artists. If I had to go with a favorite, it's something that my girl plays all the time, and that's "Dreamers" by AZ and
That's
Mikey.
it.
Yeah, that junk go full rotation in this motherfucking place.
Got it.
Yeah, I love that. I love that song, "Dreamers." Y'all go
Dreamers.
look that up.
That Dreamers is actually on. If you go back a couple of creating spaces, we have
I
AZ
remember
Ace
that.
on. And hopefully, if you listen to that, you downloaded his
Y'all had fun.
catalog and
Y'all
go
had
ahead.
fun though. I heard that.
Listen.
Y'all had fun.
Yeah, so y'all already know what Dreamers is. And go ahead and make sure you support all of the artists that we've had on Creating Space. But if you want to know where I got all this talent from, look no further than Ty Davis and More Than Words,
Oh,
because
that's
that
what's
is
up.
how I got introduced to almost all of these artists.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Hey, that's major. I gotta keep going, man.
You
That's
got
major.
to.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Ain't no stopping now. It's too far gone now.
Mm, mm.
So let's go ahead and plug all your information, Ty, and let them know where they can find you.
Oh yeah, Mr. MISTA underscore T 116. That's my snap. You can see my snap on my IG. My IG is MISTA underscore Tyler TYLER. More than words is more than words dot flow on IG. It's all easy to find. It should come up under my name as soon as you type me in. Ty Davis on Facebook. TY Davis on Facebook.
Got it. Um, Thank you so much. A big shout out to you
Thank
for
you.
taking your time out to talk to me about the awesome things that you have been doing for a while in this area.
Time well spent. Time
Yes.
well spent.
Um, and you guys know me. I'm K Antoinette, your host, and you can follow me on Instagram at K Antoinette underscore the blogger. You can also follow the Let's Build Futures page at Let's underscore build underscore futures and visit let'sbuildfutures.com. I will be uploading some poetry to Let's Build Futures more regularly and some blog posts as well. Now, creating space is continuing, so make sure that you like, share, and subscribe LBF podcast for creating space on Fridays and regular episodes on Mondays and some Wednesdays. And as always, this has been great, builders. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or topic ideas, you can hit me up on Gmail at allthingslbf. That's allthingslbf, gmail.com. And I'll be happy to share your questions, your topic ideas, and everything on the platform. So until next time, we'll see you soon. Bye. Maybe you should find cover from me. Sometimes I feel like a landmine, one step forward closer to me and a trigger clicks. I panic. I resist. The urge to run sets in, and I'm my old self once again. You tiptoe and then accidentally boom. Pieces of my past scatter across the room. How can I control the unfair thoughts of some impending doom when we've just begun this battle of the hearts? My reaction to it all comes too soon because I'm a landmine full of still trauma and pain, not wanting someone so beautiful to journey through me in vain, but as imperfections are the trigger, another explosion looms, click, click, boom. as I wait to see pieces of my past scatter across the room. Maybe you should find cover from me.